Namaste. Welcome to yoga. These are strange new times we're in. Maybe it's always a strange new time, but maybe that's a little bit more obvious right now than it usually is. But I'm so glad there are still ways that we can practice together. It means a lot to me. And I do mean together. Yoga is the ancient wisdom practice, an art, a science that transmits the awareness that we're all one. Even in these, separate bodies, these separate forms, amidst the great diversity of things and beings, all of these seemingly separate presences flowing along, right? Like the waves on top of the ocean. This is the relative level of things where things are separate. Many of us do like waves a lot. And yoga is the reminder of the full depth ground of being of the ocean, where everything is one. And we are also that. So wherever your physical body is, whatever time of day or night, whatever it took to get here, welcome. I'm happy we can be here together. And we'll do just a basic, well-rounded flow practice. As always, the invitation is to listen to me and what I'm offering, but also listen to your own body. Rest when you need to. Modify poses. If one doesn't feel right, skip it. But it is nice to have a space where we can spread our body out on the mat and also enough space to be able to stand up and move around a little bit. Lovely to have at least one block. You might choose to have two. It also would be good for this practice to have a strap or a strap-like object. It could be a belt or a scarf, or even like a long sleeve t-shirt where you can hold the sleeves, something to give yourself a little bit more extension when the time comes. It's also nice to have something to sit on as we sit together for these first few moments and really drop in. So I sit on a folded blanket, and the tendency for most of us is if our sit bones are down, sometimes we don't have the openness in our hips, especially before we practice, to actually be able to sit up straight. So to sit on something that elevates the sit bones, it gives us a little bit of an assist so we can draw the back of the spine in and sit tall. So once you've got what you need, find a comfortable, easy seat. Close your eyes. And if you're not someplace where you're comfortable closing your eyes, just feel free to soften and lower your gaze. But some way of making this sweet turn where we come within. And just start by connecting with the breath, wherever you notice that in your body right now. Just let yourself settle with these first couple of breaths. And as you settle, just rooting down through the sit bones to rise the spine up tall. Let the thighs be heavy, let the feet relax. And from that base, you might move forward and back just a little bit until you find that plumb line where the spine is rising straight up from the sit bones, up through the neck, up through the crown of the head. And from there, take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, just drop your shoulders down. And then be right here, eyes soft on the horizon. Just let the whole face relax. Relax the jaw. Let the tongue be passive on the bed of the mouth. Keep allowing the shoulders, the outer layer of the body to drape down. Just letting awareness ride the breath. Might just gently notice if you're holding tension anywhere, and if you find some tension, gently let it go. And when the mind starts to wander, which it's really good at, just notice that it's gone wandering off, and gently but firmly come back to the breath. And just staying quiet inside, but lifting the hands and joining the palms, drawing your hands into the center of the chest. We'll take a deep inhale here together, in through the nose, filling up. And on the exhale, slowly bowing down the head, releasing the back of the neck. And on your next inhale, bringing the head slowly back up, releasing the hands down to the thighs, and opening your eyes. Thank you. So we'll start on our backs, and we're going to bring our strap down with us. We won't use it right away, but come down on your back, have your strap nearby, and let's just start by drawing the knees in. You can have your hands on the knees, you could wrap your arms around the shins, and just a little bit of gentle movement, maybe rolling side to side. You can wiggle your toes or your feet, might stretch the face. Just finding our way into the body. And then coming to center, we're just going to lift the feet, flex them, and find an early happy baby. So your hands might be outside the shins. You might be able to reach up to the outside of the flexed feet. Just find a way to draw the knees down. Relax your back down against the earth, the back of the head down. And you can stay still here, or if you want to roll side to side, or if you want to wiggle around a little bit. If you're rolling side to side, it's nice to just let the head roll a little bit too. Just see what's here, gently opening the hips and coming back to center, taking a breath, releasing the feet, letting them come down. We're going to take our strap and open it up. We're going to extend the right leg, flex the foot, and just place the strap around the ball of the foot. Hold the strap in a way where your shoulders can relax down against the earth. You can keep the left leg bent, or you can straighten it, flex the left toes up. And then we're just going to work on extending the back of that right leg. So really reach through the inner and the outer right foot evenly. See if you can firm that right hip down and in a little bit, aiming it towards your left heel. You can use the straps just to gently, not forcing anything, open the back of the leg if that calls to you. But really make sure you've got the shoulders down, the face soft. And just be here and breathe. Then taking both bits of the strap in the right hand, we're going to take our flat left palm right on that left hip bone. We're going to anchor that hip bone down with the help of our hand. Go ahead and externally rotate your right leg up from way up high in the hip. Anchoring this down, slowly start to extend the right leg out. We want to go slowly so we can support ourselves as we move, but also so we can feel as soon as this left hip wants to come up, that's when we want to stop, re-anchor that hip, re-extend through that inner right foot and leg, and keep opening. Both shoulder blades down. If you've really got that left hip anchored, you can also play with just rolling the ribs down in a way. You might even reach the arms straight out to the side. Nice. Slowly bring that right leg back up to center. We're going to change the hand that's holding the strap. And now take your right thumb and really press it down in that right hip crease so you can push that hip crease down and in towards the opposite heel. Keep your left toes flexed and pointing straight up. We're just going to let that right leg start to cross the body a little bit. For most of us, it's an inch or two. We only want to go as far as we can, keeping those left toes up. We're looking for a little bit of tightness behind the right hip or in the sacrum. For many of us, we're able to access the piriformis here. So you might not feel a lot, but just hold those tension points and breathe. Then go ahead and reach the right arm straight out. Inhale here. And on your exhale, slowly start to let the right leg come across. And you can let the left toes turn out now. Finding your way into a twist, you'll see what's here. The leg might hover in the air, might start to come down towards the floor. But can you draw that right shoulder blade back to open across the front of the heart? And just see what's right here. Breathing. And then slowly bringing that right leg back up. Release the strap down to the side. Bend your right leg down. Bend the left leg in. And then we're going to rebend the right leg. Flex the foot. Cross the ankle just so it's beneath this left kneecap. And then draw that lefty towards you. You can reach your hands around behind the thigh. Maybe some of you can find in front of the shin. But the work here is to gently draw that left knee in as you gently press that right knee away. Both feet are flexed. And we've got the shoulders down, right? We're not hunching up. We're giving ourselves enough space to bring the shoulders down, relax the back of the head down. And then the cherry on top here is to keep the knees right where they are, but see if you can uncurl the tailbone down, lengthening the spine. It'll deepen the work in the hips. Just a few more breaths here. Nice. Release your clasp, uncross the leg, feet down. Just take a moment here in constructive rest, find your center. And then let's find the strap and work those same actions on the other side. So we're going to extend the left leg up, flex the foot. Strap comes around the ball of the foot, holding the strap in a way where our shoulders can relax down. You can keep the right leg bent or go ahead, straighten it out, flex the toes straight up. And you can see here how my hip's a little bit up and out. So aim that left hip down and in towards the opposite heel, holding the strap, breathing open the back of the left leg. Shoulders relaxed back, face soft. One more breath right here. Nice. Now you're going to take both straps in the left hand and you're going to take your flat right palm right on that right hip bone. Anchor it down. Externally rotate the left leg. Keeping this right hip anchored, you're extending from the inner left foot, the inner left thigh, and you're just going to start to come down. The minute this right hip comes up, you can see now I'm just moving my hips. There's no opening in the leg. So I really need to anchor, and from there I pull. This is true in, I think, just about all of our yoga poses, that we hold something steady, and from that we move, and that's how we work on opening the body. Breathe. Again, welcome to roll those right hips back. Welcome to reach that right arm straight out. Take up space. Breathe. And then slowly bring the left leg up, changing the hand that's holding the strap. And take your left thumb, press it down into that crease to really aim the sit bone towards the right heel. Right toes stay pointing up. The minute they start to roll out, it means we've gone too far. Just gently crossing over. Not much movement here. It's holding the hip down and in. It's keeping the right toes up. Oof, and then it's finding that spot. And once you're there, just soften, give it breath. Now we're just going to reach the left arm straight out. Inhale here and steady, slow, letting that left leg come across. Nothing too drastic. You let the right toes open. And we're just finding this first twist. Helps to keep drawing the left shoulder blade down and away. You might even gaze a little bit over the left shoulder. Just be here and breathe. Opening up these wonderful legs of ours. And then slowly bring the left leg back up. Bending the knee, moving the strap. Let's bend the right knee. Flex the left foot strongly. It protects the knee in this position. Right beneath the kneecap. Lift that right knee in. And then reach around and find your clasp. You want a clasp where you can really keep the shoulders drawing down, the heart open. And then gently drawing the right knee in. Pressing the left knee away. Both feet flexed. And maybe a little bit, even energetically, uncurling that tailbone down. And breathe. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, let it go. Uncrossing the left leg. And just take a moment in constructive rest. Now we're going to hug the right knee in. Clasp your hands in front of the shin. Extend the left leg long, flex the toes. And then use those clasped hands to gently draw yourself up so the shoulders come off the mat. Lift the left foot an inch off. And then you're going to release the clasp, but draw your belly down to hold yourself and bring that right thigh vertical and the shin parallel. And breathe. Really drawing the belly down and in. Now stay here. You're going to take both palms together outside that right thigh. So it's easy here to get the left shoulder up, harder to get the right shoulder up. Can you really reach forward, see what you can lift? Stay here. We're just going to slowly extend that right leg. Oh, let's bend it again. And then let's straighten it. And let's do that a few more times just to distract ourselves, right? Feeling the pull of the belly, the effort to hold the shoulders up, and then this cute, light moving leg all at once. And then straighten the right leg and hold it there. And then you might bring the right leg down an inch. You might bring it all the way down to the left and then slowly bring it back up. So find the distance that's right for you. And we're just going to do a couple of these. Go slowly, support yourself as you move. We'll do one more because it's so much fun. Bring that right leg back up. Come back to center. Hug the knees in. Ho ho. Both feet down. Hugging the left knee in, clasping the hands above the shin. Extend the right leg long, toes up. Use that clasp to pull yourself up, shoulders up off the mat. Lift the right leg up about an inch or two, and then reach the arms forward. That left thigh becomes perpendicular, the left shin parallel. You know, you're welcome to use a hand behind the head here if it's too much on your neck. Draw the belly down. Breathe. Maybe smile. And then both palms together outside the left thigh. So you can see my struggle here, right, to get this left shoulder up. I've got the right one up, but I'm working on it. And then I'm going to straighten the left leg, and then I'll bend it again. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. One more time. Now I'm going to straighten, and I'm going to make the right choice for my belly because I want to be able to keep the sacrum down. I might just go an inch. I might come a little bit further down towards the opposite leg. I could like cheat a little bit and invite them to meet in the middle. I could probably even change them. So find your way. Just a couple more. Drawing the belly down. Lifting the shoulders. Last one. Back to center. Hug the knees in. Oh, yes. And then extend the body long. Reach the arms overhead. Maybe clasp on wrist. Really stretch the front of the belly. And we're going to take a nice big inhale here. Tongue out, mouth open. One more lion's breath. Then the knees, hands behind the thighs. And you can just rock and roll forward and back a couple of times. That feels good. A little roly-poly on the spine. Massage. One more. It's fun to tip back towards the shoulders. Woo. And then come on up. Swing your legs around. And we're going to come into child's pose. So towards the back of your mat, the big toes touch. Knees are at least hips distance. They can be as wide as your mat. And then keeping the hips heavy, just lay your body down. You might choose to put a block under the forehead if it doesn't quite come down to the mat, or just rest the forehead down. Hips are heavy over the heels. Arms relaxed, belly relaxed. You can keep the forehead still, or if you just want to roll it side to side a couple times, it sometimes feels good just to wake up the front of the brain, the front of the skull. Coming back to center. Keep the hips heavy as you reach the arms forward, like you're crawling your fingertips out of your hips. Press the palms down. Really spread the fingers, press all the knuckles, press the whole rim of the palm. Hug the outer arms in and roll your triceps down. Repress the index finger and thumb. And keep that full feel of the hands, super straight arms, and just come up to all fours. So we're going to walk our knees in so they're under our hips, hip distance, tuck the toes, and then see if you can get your wrist creases right under the shoulders. And the wrist creases should be parallel with the front of the mat. So many of us need to turn our hands out a little bit. Straight arms. And then notice if you're dumping at all in the middle here, you want to draw in from underneath the belly and the heart and support the pose from underneath. And then we're going to take a nice big inhale, reach the chest forward, the groins go back, maybe the gaze goes up. And then on an exhale, press the palms, coil the navel into the spine. Find that big cat back. Inhale, slowly coming forward, finding your way into cow. Exhale, pressing and rounding, back up into cat. And then just do a few more on your own. Follow your breath. If you find a sweet spot and you want to pause, if you want to wiggle around a little bit, we're just opening up our spines, finding our way in. And then just come back to your neutral spine. We're going to walk the knees back a couple of inches, respread all the fingers, press them down, really straight arms, and roll your triceps slightly down. Keep all of that, tuck the toes if you don't have them tucked already, press the hands, and slowly lift the hips up and back. Adha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And for your first few breaths in dog, if you like to pedal your legs or wiggle your hips around, move the head, just find your way in. Some people like to come up on the balls of the feet, really lengthen out, then come back down, and then find stillness. So your feet are hips distance and parallel. Your heels are slightly bowing out, hiding behind the ankles. The heels are reaching down towards the earth. You're pressing your hands forward and down to lengthen through the arms, the sides of the torso, and to lift the hips up and back. The gaze is back between the feet. We just stay here and breathe, right? Allowing the backs of the legs, the shoulders to slowly open. Remember, you're welcome to rest at any time during the practice. So for some people, downward dog is a resting pose. You can always come back here, or child's pose is another wonderful place just to stop along the way when your body tells you it's time. And then on an inhale, we're going to slowly glide forward and come into plank. You might need to change the length of your stance. That's okay. Look down. We want those wrist creases parallel with the front of the mat, right under the shoulders. Spread the fingers, super straight elbows. Now reach back through your heels as you reach forward through the crown of the head. And then again, draw the belly in and underneath the heart to lift the pose from underneath. There's a slight protraction in the upper back. Gaze is slightly forward. At any point, if it's too much, you can come down, rest on your knees. You can press back to downward facing dog. Otherwise, stay right here and enjoy. Actually, enjoy whatever you're doing, please. Slowly on an exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then we're going to inhale, glide forward right back to plank. We're going to shift about an inch forward. You're welcome to drop your knees. We're going to come halfway down to chaturanga. So shoulders in line with elbows, no lower. Press the arms straight. Straighten the legs if you've gotten them bent. Press back, downward facing dog. Let's try that a couple times on the breath. You can bring the knees down or you can keep the legs straight. So inhale, plank. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, inhale, plank. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Come forward again. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down. And then come all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. And let's come up into our Sphinx pose. So we get the elbows right under the shoulders. Forearms parallel. Press the inner hand. The feet are together. The legs are really straight. Your knees might even come off the mat. Now, can you tone your belly? Keep the belly toned, but from there, lift the heart. And kind of isometrically drag your forearms back to bring the heart through. Breathe. Nice. Slowly come down. The forehead comes down. Reach around behind your lower back. Interlace the fingers. If you can, press the palms together. Bend the elbows. Draw them towards each other, bringing your shoulder blades up on the back. Legs are straight. Now draw your tailbone long. Keep the toes pressing down as you inhale. Come on up, Shalabhasana. Lifting the heart. Reaching back. Strong legs, anchoring the lift through the heart. Slowly come down. Rest the forehead for a moment and just change the clasp of the fingers. Press the palms together, bend the elbows. Lift the collarbones. Straight legs. Inhale, come on up, Shalabhasana. Breathe. Now, can you stay right here as you release the hands and just hover your palms by your lower ribs? The elbows are in. And then place the hands down, slowly come down. Take a breath. Reactivate the legs, elbows in, flat palms. Inhale, come up. Just find your Bhujangasana Cobra. Might be a couple inches. You might come up a little bit higher, but can you work on bringing the elbows in, shoulders down, and then exhale, release down. Take a breath. Reactivate the legs, press the palms. Inhale, back up, Bhujangasana Cobra. And stay here or continue pressing the palms till you have straight arms. And you're just on the hands, the tops of the feet. The outer ankles are hugging in. My belly still toned as I lift the heart, shoulders down. Then press the hands, use your core. Lift slowly back and up. Downward facing dog. In dog, widen your feet as wide as your mat. Walk the hands in a little bit so you're like in a short dog. Just feel what that's like. And then we're going to lift our right hand, reach through outside our left ankle. Just find a little twist. Maybe looking under the armpit. Bring that right hand back down to your short dog. Finding the other side. Maybe find the outside of the ankle. Just neutralizing the spine, a little twist. Come back to your short dog. Bring your feet hips distance. And then walk your hands back all the way. Put a bend in your knees, weights in the toes, lean forward, hold opposite elbows, and let the elbows be like little weights, drawing the torso down. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. And just breathe, hang. With bent knees, this Uttanasana is a sweet release for the lower back. Then change the clasp of the elbows, stay bent knees, or maybe start working on straightening the legs a little bit or a lot. So moving into the hamstrings, rooting down equally through the inner and the outer feet. Still drift the weight towards the toes, torso long. Then release the hands down. Place your hands on your hips. Draw the elbows in so the heart's open. We're going to come up with a straight back. Feel free to put a bend in your knees for your lower back if that's what you need. We're just slowly going to come up all the way. All the way. We made it to standing. Lovely. Okay. And if you would come to the top of your mat with your feet together, palms pressing into one another, and find your Tadasana, mountain pose. So classical Tadasana is the big toes touch and there's about an inch between the heels. You're welcome to separate the feet a little bit more if that's what your body wants. But can you draw the tailbone down, shift the weight into the heels, line up the spine. And then on an inhale, we're going to reach the arms out and up and find our Urdhva Hastasana. So it's the same Tadasana line, but we're rooting down through the feet as we reach up through the arms. Maybe as we reach, we start to look up, if that's okay on your neck. And maybe we draw the palms together, if that's okay on the shoulders. And take a nice big inhale here. And on your exhale, open up your arms and it's a slow swan dive down. You're welcome to put some bend in the knees if you need, but fold all the way in into your Uttanasana now with the feet together. Let the head go, take a breath here. And then on your next inhale, you're going to come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. So hands can be on thighs or shins, not on the knees. Some of you might bring your fingertips down to your toes. Reach back through the hips as you reach forward through the crown of the head. Straight back, supporting from underneath. Take an inhale here. Can you keep that much length as you slowly fold back Uttanasana? Try that a couple times. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, long spine, fold it in. Inhale, Ardha. And then this time, exhale, plant your hands shoulder distance. Step back and find your plank pose. Come an inch forward, knees down or straight legs. Come halfway down, Chaturanga. Then you're either going to come all the way down into your cobra, or from your Chaturanga, you're just going to come over the toes and press up into downward facing dog. And then everybody, hips go back and up, downward facing dog. Find your center, find your breath. Next, exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step one foot and then the other to the top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Let's go through a few Surya Namaskar A's together on the breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, slowly take the full breath all the way down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, find plank. Come forward, elbows in, halfway down, Chaturanga. All the way down for cobra or over the toes, up dog. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Next, exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Step or lightly hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center and keep it going one more time. Inhale, tall reach. Exhale, like you've got all the time in the world. Folding down and in. Inhale, halfway up, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, find plank. Come forward, elbows in, halfway down, Chaturanga. Your choice, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now bring the feet together at the back of the mat. And from your inner right thigh, inhale the right leg back behind you. So find this three-legged dog. First, even out the weight in the hands right to left. See if you can keep the hips neutral to start. Both elbows super straight, and then press the hands forward and down to open up the whole body. And then root down through that standing foot to roll open the top hip. Bend that back knee. Just see what kind of stretch you might find here. Super helpful to draw the tailbone down and under to externally rotate both hips. Keep that as you re-extend that top leg, and then mindfully bring that right hip down so the hips are even again. Inhale here to find even more length. And then exhale, come forward, knee to nose. The shoulders are over the wrists. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, come forward, right knee outside, right elbow or tricep. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, come forward, cross under, find the opposite elbow or tricep. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. And then exhale, come forward, knee to nose, and keep it going all the way down the middle. Step forward to the front of the mat, long lunge. Take as many steps as you need. Really get this heel right under this knee. Firm that right hip back and in so you can feel the connection between the heel, the knee, and sending that energy right into the hip on the fingertips. Give yourself enough length that the hips can start to come down. Chest is lifting, gaze is slightly forward. Just be here and breathe. And then slowly let that left knee come down. Move it back a couple inches. Pat it if you need a little bit of extra padding for your knee. But keep the hips coming forward as you inhale. Come on up, Anjaneyasana. So we're drawing the tailbone long. We're lifting the belly. We're lifting through the whole front body. Maybe we're looking up, reaching up past the fingertips. Maybe the palms join overhead. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale again, twist at the waist, and then come down, bring your elbow outside that right knee. You can use the right hand outside the thigh to twist, but then bring the palms together. Stabilize the hips so you can really turn at the waist. And lift your heart up towards your joined hands. Lean the head back. Be here and breathe. Slowly inhale, come back up to center. We're going to bring our left hand down. We're going to look back. We're going to bend our right knee. We're going to see if we can catch that foot. You might use your strap as a lasso. You might just play with reaching. You might barely get the foot, or you might start to draw the foot in and just turn to the right. Make sure you're not on the kneecap. You should be above the kneecap. And padding can be really helpful here too. And then just breathe. It's a big opening for that left quad. Slowly release the leg. Both hands down inside of the right foot. Move your right foot a little bit to the right, and then find one of your blocks. Place it at any height here, right inside your right foot. Keep that right hip hugging in as you come down on your forearms. So it's a big hip opening. So really choose the height of the block so that you're not straining too much. And can you keep firming the right hip in and actually hugging that right knee into your shoulder? And then notice if you're really curling in, can you lift the head a little bit? Even here, work on extending the spine. Breathing. One more breath. And then come off the block. Move it to the side. Frame the front foot. Straighten the back leg. Use your core so you can pick up that front foot. Step back, find plank. Come forward an inch, elbows in, halfway down. Your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Find your center, find your breath. Be right here. Then bring the feet together at the back of the mat. From the inner left thigh, inhale the left leg back behind you. So three-legged dog. First we have to find symmetry in the asymmetry. Straight elbows, even the weight left to right. Start with that left hip equal with the right as much as you can. Two straight arms, two straight legs. Then firm into the standing leg to roll that standing hip under. Open the top hip, bend that top leg, and then hook the tailbone down and under to extend externally both hips. Stay right here as you re-extend that top leg. Mindfully bring the left hip down. Can you inhale here, get even longer, and then exhale, come forward, knee to nose. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee outside, left elbow. Inhale back, three-legged dog. Exhale, cross under, opposite elbow. Inhale it back, three-legged dog. And then exhale, knee to nose, and keep it going. Draw the knee in so you can step it forward. long lunge. Now you can see when we step forward, there's a tendency for this hip to come in, up and out. So firm it back and in on the fingertips, knee right over the front ankle, reaching back through the back heel, forward through the crown of the head. Just being here and breathing. And then slowly bring that back knee down. Move it back an inch or two, pat it if you need, and then inhale, come on up, Anjaneyasana. Draw the tailbone down, lift the belly. Maybe lift the whole front body. Maybe start to look up. Maybe the palms join overhead. Inhale here, and then exhale, hands come down to heart center. Inhale again to find length, and then exhale, twisting to the left. You might use this hand outside the thigh just to get that elbow outside the knee, and then press the palms together. See if you can start to lengthen the spine and lift the heart up towards your joined hands. And breathe. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, right hand comes down. Look back, bend that back knee. Yes, the foot's there somewhere. Can you grab it? You can use your strap. You can just work on reaching it and have that space. You might start to draw the foot in. Settle in for some deep breaths into that right quad. See what's here. Slowly release that back leg. Both hands come inside the front foot. Move that left foot a little bit to the left. Bring your block in. Choose its height. And then slowly come down on your forearms. This is called lizard for a reason. Very lizard-like. Can you hug that left knee in? Can you uncurl and lift the heart a little bit? Maybe lift the gaze. One more breath right here. And then we're slowly going to come off the block. Plant the hands either side of the front foot, straighten the back leg, step back, find your plank. Come and go through a vinyasa, or you're welcome to go straight back to downward facing dog. Always welcome to take a few breaths in child's pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You're going to inhale the right leg back behind. Exhale, step it forward and through all the way to the front of the mat. Move the right foot a little bit to the right. Come to your fingertips. And when you're ready, inhale, come on up. Find your crescent pose. So really bending in that front knee towards 90 degrees. From the right hip back, the left hip comes a little bit forward. We draw the tailbone down and lift the belly. Maybe we start to look up. Maybe the palms touch overhead. Take a big inhale here. And then on an exhale, open your arms. Keep them coming down and around. And bring your left arm under for your eagle crescent. So we're dropping the shoulders down. We're lifting the elbows. We're slightly moving the hands away from the face. Okay, anchor yourself in that front heel. And when you're ready, play with springing forward, coming up to your one-legged Tadasana. And get stable here. And then to start to melt the leg, melt the arms, slowly come back. Find your crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up and over. And then exhale, let it go. Hands come down to the mat. Step back, find plank. Come forward halfway down. Go through your vinyasa or go straight back to downward facing dog. We'll meet in dog. Inhale the left leg back behind. Exhale, step it forward all the way to the front of the mat. As many steps as you need. Move that left foot a little bit to the left. Really bend that front knee. Inhale, come on up, crescent pose. We move the foot over a little bit so we're not coming up on a tightrope. So if you feel like you're on a tightrope, you might want to widen your stance a little bit. Draw the tailbone down. Lift the heart. Maybe the gaze rises. Maybe we reach up and touch. Take an inhale here. And then on an exhale, open the arms. The right arm's going to come under. Find your eagle crescent. Lifting the elbows, dropping the shoulders. Be here and breathe. Now bring your awareness in that front heel. Play with springing up, one-legged Tadasana, with your eagle arms. Find steadiness, then let it start to melt. Reach back, back to crescent lunge. Inhale the arms up and over. Exhale, let it go, hands come down. Step back to plank, come forward, go through your vinyasa. Open the heart. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Now on your next exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Step or lightly hawk front of the mat. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, Tadasana. Really nice. So we're going to come to the center of our mat, feet together, and find Tadasana here in the center. Now we're going to bring the hands on the hips, and let's just find a wide stance with the feet parallel. So one of the ways to check out that stance is to reach your arms out. See if the ankles are right under the wrists. Bring the hands back to the hips. We're going to strongly turn that right foot out so it's parallel with the side of the mat. Back foot slightly turned in. Extend the arms long, keeping that right hip hugging in slowly, bending that right knee, and coming down into your warrior two. So give yourself enough length that you can really bend that front knee, the knees over the ankle or close, and then look down. Make sure you can see that right big toe inside the knee, and then bring your gaze up over the front fingertips. Be here and breathe. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. Maybe sink a little deeper for the last couple of breaths. Draw the tailbone under, back leg straight. Now we're going to stay here. We're just going to bend that front forearm, come down on it, bend the elbow. Reach that top arm up, turn the palm forward, reach out, and then use the pressure of that forearm in that front thigh to turn, open the chest, keep bending deeply in that front leg. It's a modified Parsva Konasana. And then inhale slowly. Come back to warrior two. Flip that front palm. Stay steady in the lower body. Nothing moves. We're just reaching up into our reverse warrior. Long through the right side body. Stay right here as you straighten that front leg. And then inhale, come up through center. We're going to triangle, so make a choice about the length of your stance. Some of us like to shorten it. Let the hips shift back. A little bit of softness in that front knee. And then play with where you want that bottom hand. It might be high up on your shin. We want to be able to open up the shoulder. You might use a block. Some of you might come down towards the ankle. But if that top shoulder starts to come forward, it means your bottom hand is too low and you want to back out. So you can open up and lean back. Draw the tailbone underneath. Lengthen the sides of the body. Breathe. Beautiful. Slowly press down to stand up. Hands on the hips. Turn the feet. They're both facing forward. And then we're going to go ahead and turn the left foot out strongly. Back foot slightly turned in. So classical Viratu is the front heel bisects the back arch. Some people actually like to line up the heels. So play with your stance, and when you're ready, keeping that front knee open, slowly start to bend into your warrior two. So setting up the pose, the front knee is really opening. We can see that big toe. Strong, straight back leg. We're turning our torso to the side, even as we let that back hip come slightly forward. And then we're just looking out over the front fingertips and realizing why this is called a warrior pose. It gets more and more warrior-like each moment we stay. So what is that like? This choice to stay with challenge, to stay with difficulty. Draw the tailbone underneath, relax the shoulders. If you want to go a little deeper for the last couple breaths, not a requirement, just an invitation. Okay, nothing's going to change in the lower body. We're going to lean forward, bend the elbow, forearms on that front thigh. Now I can really bend and relax this thigh. I'm going to reach that top arm up, turn the palm forward, reach over, and then by pressing my elbow into the top of the thigh, I can slightly turn, drawing the tailbone underneath, lifting the belly, reaching Parshva-Konasana. And then staying right here, just bring the arms back to warrior two, flipping the front palm. Inhale, stay buoyant. There's a little bit of weight on that backhand, if any. Big stretch to the left side body. Stay right here as you straighten that front leg. And then inhale, come up and over. Make a choice about the length of the stance. Hips go back. We stay open to the side, a little bit of softness in that front knee. Keep pressing in that left big toe. And then again, the choice about where the hand goes so that we're not pitching forward. Our shoulders are stacked on top, one on top of the other. The heart is open. We can lean back, breathe, be right here. And then slowly press down through both feet. Come back up, turn that front foot in, hands on the hips, and then bring your feet in about a third of the distance. Feet are parallel. Nice straight spine, draw the tailbone down, inhale. And then on an exhale, hinging at the hips so the back stays straight, slowly coming down, finding our prasarita. So we can have hands on the mat, we can have hands on blocks. Some of you have more openness in your hamstrings and might start to fold in. The hands to come to shoulder distance underneath the elbows as we aim the crown of the head down. Keep lifting through the inner arches. Keep firming in the outer arches. Keep breathing. And then on an inhale, wherever you are, come halfway up. It's a straight spine. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows in. You can put a little bit of bend in your legs, but can you come up with a straight back? All the way up. Then bring the feet together. Find your Tadasana mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Just close your eyes for a moment. Drop in, see what's right here. Temperature, heartbeat, breath, your own presence. Blink the eyes open. So we'll work on Vinyasa tree pose. If you're someone who likes to use a wall and you have one near, some people like to step off the mat to help with balance. Hands on the hips. We're going to root down through the right foot. Let's start with a kickstand. And just close your eyes for a moment. It's wonderful to see how much our eyes contribute to our balance. Whew. Blink your eyes open. Stay here. Or you can do tree with the foot at the calf. Or you're going to reach down for that ankle. Pull the foot up and in right high on that inner thigh. And then bring your hands to your hips for a moment. Notice if one of the hips has come back. If one is raised up, draw the tailbone under. Bring the hands to heart center. So here's the work. Really straight, strong standing leg. Firmly press that raised foot deep into your inner thigh as you press the inner thigh back. Press your hands together, right? This is how we really create/discover our midline. And if you want to grow some limbs, Vinyasa tree. If you find it really easy, the way to start discovering a little bit more challenge is to lift the gaze. So either up to the horizon, you might look up towards your ceiling, or if you're outside towards a tree, breathe. You might join the palms together. Fullest expression, take one breath, and then exhale, hands slowly come down to heart center, and then release the leg. Shake it out. Let's try the other side. So starting with feet together, Tadasana, hands on the hips. Let's try that kickstand for a moment. Close the eyes. See how wobbly things become. Blink the eyes open. Choose where you want to put your foot. And then a moment with the hands on the hips, because whatever leg we raise, that hip tends to come up and back. We want them even. Hands come to heart center. Now really straighten that standing leg and press it into the foot And really press the foot back into that standing leg. Draw your tailbone underneath you. Press the palms into one another. Reach the crown of the head up into the sky. And then if you'd like to grow some limbs, see what that's like. Maybe the limbs on this side are a little different. They might be winds moving in the breeze. I don't know if there's breeze where you are right now, but just find your tree. Again, feel free to lift the gaze if you want a little more challenge. Feel free to join the palms overhead if that's part of what calls to you. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale slowly, let it melt, let it dissolve. Foot comes down, shake it out. Bring the feet back together. Find your Tadasana mountain pose. And then hug the inner thighs together, hug the outer hips in, tuck your tailbone a little bit. Just slow squat coming down. We're playing with balance. We move slowly to cultivate steadiness even when we're moving. Right? It's one thing to be steady when we're still. What is it like to be steady when we're moving? Maybe open the knees when you come to the bottom. Maybe lift your joined palms overhead. Maybe reach up and open for a moment. Hello. Maybe bring it all back down. Hands come back down into the heart. Knees come gently back together. And then just have a seat. Come down on your tush. Find your Dandasana staff pose. This is a lovely place to sit on a blanket or something again if there's any sort of jumping back in your spine. Come up high in your sit bones. Flex your feet. We're going to bend the right leg. Stand on the foot. The heel's about an inch or two from my tush. Just hook the shin for a moment so you can draw the back body into the front body, like there's a string pulling your spine long up to the sky. Now, can you keep all that length as you bring the left hand down and reach the right arm up, right? It takes some muscles to keep that length now. Inhale here, and then exhale, start to lean forward. So the right hip can come up a little bit. You can use your strap if you want to catch that front foot. You might hold your toes. If you're someone as you come forward where that shoulder actually clears your knee, you can reach around, internally rotate from the shoulder, reach behind, and you might play with reaching behind and finding fingertips or a wrist. Again, you can use your strap in the back if you almost have that clasp, but not quite. But then just take a few breaths to be here and breathe, Marichyasana. And then slowly inhale to bring the torso up. Keep the legs here. So if you just want to try a fun thing to play with, you're going to reach forward, bring your knee inside your hands. See if you can catch your toes and just come up into this little clown squat. It's harder than it looks. Slowly release that. Let's find our Dandasana. So up again on the front of the sit bones, tall spine. We're going to bend the left foot, stand on that foot, hook the shin with the elbow. Use that leverage to draw the back body into the front body. Really tall spine. Can you keep that as you bring the right hand down? Inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, start to come forward. So that left hip might come up a little bit. Maybe you find the foot. Maybe you use a strap. Maybe you internally rotate that left arm from the shoulder, reach around. Maybe you reach the other hand around. Find fingertips or a wrist. This is also a place to use the strap. And then just be here and breathe. And then slowly inhale to come up. Keep the legs here. Maybe reach forward towards your toes. Bring that knee inside. And then see if you can bring your weight on that foot and actually stand. Just fun things to play with. Let it go, come down. Extend the legs. We're back in our Dandasana. Tall spine. And then inhale both arms out and up. And then exhale, hinging at the hips. See how long you can keep length through your back before you fold in. We're all going to fold at some point, but keep that length, and then you can come down, Sometimes it's nice to use a block at some height, just to rest the front of the brain as we're here in our Paschimottanasana. If you're someone who can actually rest your head on your shins, maybe clasp beyond your feet. You can use a strap around the toes if you can't quite reach and you want to use the strap just to lengthen the spine. Lots of options. Sometimes we choose different things on different days. So see what wants to happen today. And then on an inhale, maybe with some support, slowly bring yourself all the way back up, tall spine. And then get oriented to the front of your mat if you're not already. Scooch forward a little bit so your heels are right at the front of the mat, bent knees. Bring the arms forward and then curl the spine and slowly start to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Supporting yourself as you come down all the way. Bend the knees in. Maybe see if you can touch your heels. You may or may not be able to, a couple inches away from your tush. Feet are parallel. So explore your feet for a moment. If you bring your toes up, find the inner big toe ball mound, the baby toe ball mound, inner heel and outer heel, and then really let the toes come down. Really press the inner foot to slowly lift the hips up. We're not clenching our glutes so much as we're standing on our feet. Once you've got the pelvis up, you could grip the sides of the mat to draw your shoulder blades underneath, or you can roll one outer shoulder and the other outer shoulder underneath. Clasp the fingers. You may be able to press the palms together. Draw the elbows towards each other. Keep the knees parallel. Stand on the feet. Lift the pelvis. Chin is neutral. See if you can feel that buoyancy behind the heart, inviting even the upper spine to lift. Sweetness of the bridge pose. Just a gentle back bend towards the end of the practice. Now stay here. We're going to release the hands, reach the arms overhead, palms down. Now the opposite part of the spine first, from the very top, one vertebrae, all the way down until the sacrum comes down. Let it be heavy and rest. Bring the arms down. Just take a moment here in constructive rest. And then we're going to hug the right knee in. We're going to extend the left leg long. Reach your right arm out to the side. Maybe take your hand outside the right knee. Just gently cross. Go slowly. We're just going to find a gentle supine twist for a couple of breaths. You're welcome to put a block under the knee. If it doesn't come down, keep drawing that right shoulder back. Just neutralizing the spine. Slowly bring the knee back to center. Set that foot down. We're going to bend the left knee in. Extend the right leg long. Reach the left arm straight out, palm up. Maybe cross the hand. Inhale here, and on your exhale, just gently cross the knee. You can see if it feels good to have the knee come straight out from the hip, or if you want to move it up a little bit. It'll feel different on different days. See what your body wants right now. And as in every pose, just noticing, what do we need to hold? Where is there some effort? But where can we let go? And learn that we can do both at once. Slowly bring the knee back up, setting the foot down, bending the right knee in. Then if you look around and find a block, we're going to take it the low, long way. So press the feet down just enough to slide the block in. Get it right under the sacrum. Might need to wiggle around for a minute to get it there. Then I find it feels great to actually draw the shoulder blades under my back, reach the arms out. You want a neutral curve in your spine, so you're not flattening your sacrum, but you're not overly arching either. See if you can find that nice natural curve. And if you feel supported enough, lifting one knee and then the other, and maybe lifting one or both legs together. And just landing here again inside yourself. Maybe closing the eyes. The sweet inversion, legs balancing on top when they spend all that time supporting us from below. Letting the blood run a very unusual way. Breathing. Relax the jaw. Relax the eyes. And then slowly blinking the eyes open if you have them closed. We're just going to bend one knee and then the other. We're going to set one foot down and then the other. Press the feet just enough to slide the block out. Let the sacrum come down. Take a breath right here, allowing your weight to deeply relax into the earth. And then making a choice about the final pose for this practice. So classical Shavasana is legs long, feet about hips distance, let them open, arms away from the body. I actually like to reach straight out from the heart, palms up, and then I press the back of the head down slightly just to draw the shoulder blades a little bit in behind the heart. And then any wiggling you need to do so you can really let go. If you've got any discomfort in your lower back, you might try bending your knees, feet as wide as the mat, and just letting the knees fall in. For some people, they bring the soles of the feet together, and this last pose would be Supta Baddha Konasana. Another option is the classical pose with something behind the knees. That relieves some of the tension in the lower back. So wherever you are, any last wiggle. Cover your eyes, close your eyes, cover your body, turn off the lights. The work of this final pose, the Shava, the corpse, is to really let go. So let's take a deep inhale in through the nose, filling up all the way. Sip in a little bit more. Hold it at the top. And then open your mouth, let it go. Shavasana. Now very slowly, starting to bring your awareness back in. Maybe a deeper breath before there's any movement, just allowing this transition in awareness. See what it's like to come back into the body, its density, its weight. And then just see if there's some small movement, wiggling fingers or toes, maybe stretching the face or reaching the arms overhead. And then when you're ready, bending the knees. Reach the right arm out overhead and just allow the knees to gently roll to the right. You can rest your head right in your right bicep and just pause for a moment. The sweet primal fetal position. And staying inside, keeping the eyes closed, just press your hands down to bring yourself back up round to a seat, ending as we began, letting the sit bones gently root down into the earth, the spine gently rising tall. And just noticing the effects of the practice, this choice we make to come to our mats with gratitude for yoga, for each of us and all of us. May all beings know peace. And drawing the palms together and moving them into the heart. Namaste. Thank you so much. I miss practicing with you all, so thank you. Be well.